I think it's really important to understand that the chaos that the Trump administration is sowing in the markets and among consumers has not yet had a chance to really filter through to the broad economic indicators, things like the BLS jobs day. And the cuts that are being made to the federal government workforce are really going to start to hit home, not just in the labor market, where we're going to see laid off workers trying to find new jobs, unable to make rent payments, mortgage payments. This could cause real problems in local economies across the country because federal workers are not just in the DC area, but also the services that those government workers are providing are going to start degrading rapidly. And, you know, we're hearing that the Trump administration is looking for a short-term correction for long-term benefits, but it's really clear who's going to benefit from these policies, if anyone, and that's Elon Musk and the other billionaires that are currently running the government. Workers are going to see the CFPB has been gutted, and they're going to see financial institutions taking advantage of them and their families with no watchdog to stop it. They're going to struggle with the Social Security Administration, where the Trump administration ousted the head of SSA so that they could get their hands on sensitive data, and are now threatening deeper cuts to services while also lying about non-existent fraud in the State of the Union. All of these things are going to start to show up in the labor market, and they're already showing up in the lives of workers and families.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know to what extent there was lying about fraud, but we were just talking to Michael McKee about the impact of federal worker layoffs. As you talk about this yourself, Kitty, could we be in a world in which this effort by the Trump administration and the ancillary impact that you're describing is what prompts the Federal Reserve to start cutting rates again?
I think that the Fed is in a really difficult position because the Trump administration is simultaneously engaging in these federal worker cuts that absolutely could ripple through the economy and cause contraction, while also sowing chaos in the markets and threatening things that might drive up inflation. And so it's a really difficult situation. I will say that I believe that the Fed should have cut interest rates more quickly than they did. And we are still seeing persistent inflation problems in the housing sector, but that's not going to be aided by the Fed holding mortgage interest rates and other interest rates higher. Those interest rates are really harming American families as they go out into the world and try to purchase homes, try to pay their rent, try to make ends meet in the current environment. But it is really difficult to do monetary policy when there's this much chaos.